I'd like to call a December 6th County Commissioners meeting to order. And the first order of business is invocation by our County Manager, Ms. Sharon Griffin.
Thank you so much, and good morning, Commissioners. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come before you and conduct the business of Onslow County. Lord, we pray for the elected officials who lead in our community. Lord, please give to each one a renewed energy for their lives and for their tasks of leadership. As we enter the holiday season, we especially pray for all of those who are alone, ill, and going through times of stress or difficulty. May all we do this day bring you honor and glory. Now, with deep respect and reverence for the faiths, beliefs, and traditions of those gathered here today, join me in a moment of silence. Amen.
Amen.
Assistant Manager Ben Warren will lead us in the pledge. Please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Today is our meeting that we have every year for organizational meeting, and I will now turn that over to our County Manager, Ms. Sharon Griffin, to preside over that process.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all of our commissioners and the sacrifices that you make every day to serve our community. I would like to remind those sitting in the audience to please silence your cell phones and turn them off or turn them to Do Not Disturb. As all of you know, North Carolina General Statute does require that this board choose a chairman and a vice chairman at the first regular meeting each December. The chairman will be the presiding officer of the Board of Commissioners for a one-year term. Unless excused by rule of the board, the presiding officer has the duty to vote on any question before the board, and he has no right to break a tie vote in which he participated. The newly elected chairman will preside over the remainder of the meeting. Ballots have been prepared for your convenience. I ask you to please sign your ballots, and I would remind the public who may be watching, these ballots will be available for public inspection beginning at the beginning of business tomorrow. The vote for chairman does require a simple majority, for those of you who may be wondering. Thank you so much. And our chairman for the next year by unanimous vote is Jack Bright. Thank you so much, Chairman Bright, and I'll turn the meeting back over to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you, board members, for supporting me for another year. It's an honor to serve as the chairman, and appreciate your support. I will turn the next item, number 2, over to Ms. Griffin also to conduct that election of the vice chairman.
Thank you so much, Chairman Bright. We will now have our election of vice chairman. North Carolina General Statute, Section 153A-39, also requires that the board elect a vice chairman from among its members to serve for the next year. The vice chairman's duties will be to act in the absence or disability of the chairman. Ballots have been prepared. I remind you to sign those, and we will tally those up right now. Again, it has to be a simple majority. Congratulations, Vice Chairman Foster has been elected unanimously.
Thank you. We ask that all in attendance please set your cell phone to silent or vibrate mode. The board offers the public one opportunity to speak during the meeting. Comments should be limited to no more than 5 minutes and may be on any issue upon which the board has control over. In accordance with the board's adopted rules of procedures, commissioners shall reserve responses, if any, for the commissioner comment period on the agenda, which is at the end of the meeting. I would like to recognize Sheriff Miller as elected official. I don't see anyone else. Am I missing somebody, Julie? And Colonel Thomas, thank you for being here. And I believe I see Superintendent of Schools, Barry Collins, back there. Thank you, sir, for being here. I now would entertain a motion to adopt the meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. Item 4 is approval of the items on the consent agenda. Is there any item on the consent agenda that any commissioner would like to have removed and discussed later?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Ms. Griffin, we are now at item 5, public comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No one has signed up to speak today in the public comment period.
All right, we'll move on to item 6, and that is surplus land. And Ms. Laura Jones will present that item for the board.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, Commissioners.
Good morning.
The county received 2 new offers on surplus land. The first offer is for parcel 036343, and that's located at New River Inlet Drive. The offer was in the amount of $9,479.67. And the second offer was for parcel 016443, located at 100 Miller Avenue. That offer was in the amount of $7,147. And we previously had an offer on New River Inlet Drive, but they failed to make final payments, so we put it back up for sale and received another offer. If the offers are approved, the properties will be sold using the negotiated offer, advertisement, and upset bid process. And of course, if we go through 10 days, and if no one makes any upset offers, the property will be sold as is. If we have any upset offers, then the final offer will be brought back to you. It is respectfully requested that the board declare the properties as surplus and approve resolutions 21-023 and 21-024, which authorizes the sale of the properties.
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion and a second. One question, is New River Inlet Drive, that lot, is it buildable?
I'm uncertain. I actually went out there to try and find it, and it was kind of hard to locate. It's across from Topsail Villas, and it looks like it's in wetlands. So I'm not sure that it's a buildable lot. We do ask anyone that makes an offer to do research and call planning, zoning. We even tell them to call North Topsail Beach and ask questions there as well.
Okay, that's all I have. Anybody else? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Thank you.
Item B is Ms. Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. North Carolina General Statute also requires that an individual bond be established for elected officials, the tax collector, the finance officer, and the Register of Deeds. The Board of Commissioners is responsible for approval of the public official and employee bonds. They are assigned to the following positions: the county manager in the amount of $200,000, the finance officer in the amount of $250,000, the Onslow County Sheriff, $25,000, the tax administrator or collector, $100,000, the deputy tax collector, $25,000, and the Onslow County Register of Deeds, $50,000. We have inquired, and none of these bonds have been impaired. We have no claims against any of the listed bonds. At this time, I respectfully request that you approve our public official and employee bonds for the positions and the amounts that I have just listed.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Amendments to project ordinance to close the grant projects. Ms. Reese, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. This morning before you is a list of grant project ordinances that have been reviewed and found to be complete. The stream cleanup projects were funded with state grant funds, and the Play Together construction grant was funded by Trillium. No county funds were used in these projects. The grant ordinance amendments reduced the ordinance to the actual project total. Respectfully request the approval of the amendments to the grant project ordinances for closure and authorize the chairman to sign the ordinances on behalf of the county.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a motion? A second? Did I hear a second? Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms.
You're
Reese.
welcome.
Amendments to project ordinance, close the project. I believe that one's yours also.
Yes. So the following projects are complete. The Government Center project was funded with 2012 limited obligation bonds, and this is only to correct the project ordinance. The Crisis Center renovation project, there's $13,000 left on this project and will be available to be used on another project. The Old Dixon Middle School project, there was approximately $69,000 left from this project, which will be moved back into the School Capital Reserve Fund. All of these projects are complete, and the amendments to the project ordinances have been prepared and for review and signature. Respectfully request the approval of the amendments to the project ordinances for the Government Center project, the Crisis Center renovation project, Dixon Middle School demolition project for closure, and authorize the chairman to sign on behalf of the county.
Hear a motion?
Motion. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Ms. Reese.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Item E, Breast and Cervical Cancer Control Program. Ms. Hoover, our Health Director, will present that item. Good morning.
Good morning, sir, Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Commissioners. This item is for the Health Department's Breast and Cervical Cancer Control Program. Breast cancer is the second most commonly diagnosed cancer in women, behind only skin cancer. The Health Department receives an allocation from the state to implement the North Carolina Breast and Cervical Cancer Control Program. For fiscal year 22, we were initially awarded funding in the amount to serve 50 women. All of these women were served in less than 4 months of this program. Therefore, we requested additional targets and were allocated additional funding. And so that's what this item brings to you, is to seek your approval in serving additional women with mammograms, cervical screening, and cancer screening programs. Therefore, it's respectfully requested that the Board of Commissioners accept funding in the amount of $15,950 for Agreement Addendum 452-1, the Breast and Cervical Cancer Control Program, and allow staff to complete necessary documentation to allocate these funds in support of this effort. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any questions for Ms. Hoover? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Request to extend annual tax listing period. Our tax administrator, Mr. Harry Smith. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, and Commissioners. In non-reappraisal years, the tax office has been mailing a tax listing information document out to all real estate property owners by the end of December, or about 30 days prior to the listing deadline. And this not only gives information to citizens regarding their listing requirements, but it also provides information about the different exemptions and deferments and tax relief programs that we offer. Of course, in 2022, we have a countywide reappraisal coming up, and we'll be mailing value change notices to all those real estate owners probably in the late January, early February timeframe. So in an effort to save some postage costs, we plan to put both of those mass mailings together in one mailing to save some postage costs, and also that would provide our property owners additional time to meet the tax listing requirements deadline if we considered extending the listing deadline until March 15th. General Statute 105-307B2 authorizes the Board of Commissioners by resolution to extend the listing deadline during a countywide reappraisal year, and therefore we are respectfully requesting that the Board of Commissioners consider approving a resolution to extend the annual property tax listing deadline until March 15th, 2022, and authorize the chairman to sign the resolution.
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any questions? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, sir. Motion carries. Consent agenda, we didn't have anything moved to item 7, so now we're at item 8, County Manager, Ms. Sharon Griffin. I'll turn it over to you for manager's comment.
Thank you so much, Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Commissioners. Just a couple of announcements. This coming Saturday from 2 to 6, we will have a festival out at Onslow Pines, and the Christmas tree lighting at Onslow Pines Park will happen right at dark, about 5:30. We would invite citizens to definitely come out for that. We also would like to thank all of our community partners who helped make our foster care Christmas party an amazing success. It just gets better every year, and we appreciate the leadership of Carrie Sanders in pulling that together. It's a phenomenal event for our foster kids. On the COVID front, we have 30,808 as of this morning. 66.8% of our population has at least one dose of vaccine, and we do now have 275 fatalities. Our health department is offering extended hours for vaccines each Tuesday and Thursday through December 21st. They'll be open until 6:30. We encourage an appointment, but we are turning away no one who would like to get a vaccine or a booster. And I would also like to do one more thing, and that's read a very important proclamation that our board is presenting. I'm going to read this into the record. State of North Carolina, County of Onslow, proclamation for Wreaths Across America Day 2021. Whereas in 1992, Morrill Worcester, owner of Worcester Wreath Company of Harrington, Maine, had a surplus of wreaths at the end of a holiday season, and whereas with the help of then Maine Senator Olympia Snowe, arrangements were made for the wreaths to be placed at Arlington National Cemetery, and whereas in 2007, the Worcester family, along with veterans and other groups and individuals who had helped with their annual Christmas wreath ceremony in Arlington, formed Wreaths Across America to continue and expand the effort to honor each branch of the military and servicemen and women. And whereas on December 13th, 2008, the U.S. Congress unanimously voted and declared Wreaths Across America Day to be celebrated annually, and whereas the mission of Wreaths Across America is to remember, honor, and teach. Remember the fallen, honor those who serve and those who have served, and teach the youth of America the value of freedom and the sacrifices that are made to protect it. And whereas Wreaths Across America Day involves the Wreaths Across America Remembrance Ceremony, an annual wreath-laying ceremony in December at Arlington, as well as veterans cemeteries and other locations in all 50 states and 24 foreign nations. Now therefore be it proclaimed, the Onslow County Board of Commissioners do hereby recognize December 18th, 2021 as Wreaths Across America Day in the County of Onslow, and I call this observance to the attention of all our citizens. and that is presented by the Onslow County Board of Commissioners. And that's all for my comments this evening, or today, I should say.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin. Ms. One, can we ratify that at the next meeting? Yes. And it'll be after, the event will be after that, so. Yes, that's fine. Anyway, well, thank you for reading that, and I think the Reefs Across the Country program is absolutely a way to honor the veterans that's fallen, and Mark, and I think there's a lot of us up here, including me and my wife, and a lot of the board members that's got family members that's put to rest out there. So it's really a honorable event. Commissioner Knapp, both his parents, Robin's dad, I think Royce has folks out there. Paul, I'm just thinking any other board members have family out there. But anyway, it is a honor to be a part of that, and I think we need to let the people know that we support that effort. And thanks for Commissioner Knapp for asking for that. Now we're at Commissioner comments. I will start again with Commissioner Scott.
Well, I want to thank everybody for allowing us to serve again this year. Looking forward to next year. Remember, it's a season of Christmas. Please don't forget what the meaning really means. I ask that you be close to your families and your loved ones, and we will be back in January ready to do the people's business. And God bless you, and good night, or good afternoon, excuse me.
Thank you.
It's hard on these morning time meetings.
Commissioner Price.
I'd like to also echo what Ms. Sharon Griffin said about thanking our social service department and Ms. Carrie Sanders and all the community members who worked so hard to provide for our foster kids at the Christmas party the other night. You could see their eyes light up as they're going to get their gifts, and when Santa came in and all of that, so it was a good thing, and we appreciate all your efforts. Also like to thank our delegation to the state legislature who worked on getting $29 million for our Albert Ellis Airport for the expansion of the runway there, and for the adjustment of 111 so that we can have a potential for growth there with some freight perhaps coming in. Also, just want to take a moment just to acknowledge a member of the greatest generation that passed away, Senator Bob Dole. Was a great American, and so we just want to remember his service to the country as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Knapp.
I just want to reiterate what Sharon said about the Wreaths of America. It's very, very important to a lot of us. My father and mother are buried there. I'm a veteran. I know Commissioner Buchanan's a veteran too, and a lot of people on this board have relatives that are buried there. And we need to make sure that we continue to honor them and to pay tribute and never forget their memory, because those people, you know, they served 20 plus years. Some of them didn't make it that long. They paid the ultimate sacrifice, and that is a big thing. And when we heard that they were not considering a ceremony, being one out of 4 cemeteries in North Carolina, that was totally unsat. And I want to thank Commissioner Bennett. He got involved immediately along with Senator Lazara and other individuals, and I found out about it, and I basically went through the roof, and I know all the other commissioners supported it, because this is what our country is about, our veterans and their family members. But there's one person that I need to thank in particular, and she's out there listening and watching, is our former chairman of the GOP, Ms. Lee Barrows. Her father's buried there along with other relatives, and she's always participated in this, and she spearheaded this. She made the phone calls. She dialed up everybody she could. She found out what the truth was, and I applaud her efforts, because without her, it probably wouldn't have been brought to our attention, and it was. And I can't thank Lee Barrows. If you're out there, Lee, I know that you're probably watching or listening. Thank you very, very much for your service to Onslow County and the citizens, so I commend her for that. The last thing I want to talk about is our county employees. It's been about 1.5 to 2 years that they have gone through a lot. Always trying to keep the public aware of what's going on, especially our health department, with the statistics, with COVID. They've made transition after transition with the various variants of this thing. Now we have the Omicron variant of COVID-19. Yet they painstakingly stayed and put the numbers together. They provided services at the health department for the vaccination, whether you believe in it or not. The service is available and still available, and they've worked extra hours. And everybody within the staff of Onslow County didn't complain. They continued to march. And I applaud all the employees for your outstanding dedication to this county and to your fellow citizens. And I say that sincerely, because you guys had a rough road to hoe for the last 2 years. And now we're coming out of this, and finally, for the first time, I think in 1.5 to 2 years, that we can enjoy a real Christmas with our families, a more relaxed Christmas. And I personally thank all the county employees for making that happen. And, you know, take the time to spend time with your family and tell them that you love them. It's Christmas. Enjoy the season. I don't believe in happy holidays. I believe it's Merry Christmas, as it always has been. And I just wish everybody, and I pray for everybody, to have a joyous Christmas and a happy, happy New Year. And we'll come out in January 2022 with both guns blazing and try to do the best we can for the county. But thank you guys very much. I appreciate you. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Bennett?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would start out by congratulating the chairman and vice chairman. You know, the public doesn't see what the chairman does behind the scenes. He's here all the time and on the telephone with all of us very frequently. He spends a lot of time working for Onslow County, and we appreciate what he and the vice chairman do for Onslow County, and we're glad that they're back for another year. It's been a very busy 3 weeks, a lot of events that several of us have attended, but I did want to mention a couple. I was at Swansboro High School Friday night for a presentation from Mr. Claude Cruz, who I believe was with our Parks and Recreation Department for many years, and they named the middle school gym after him, and that was a nice presentation on Friday night. We congratulate Mr. Claude Cruz. Also, I was at the tree lighting ceremony for the town of Richlands on Saturday night, and they had a nice little program there, and I went to Possumwood Acres yesterday. Possumwood Acres is a rescue for wildlife, and they had a struggle last year with COVID and a reduction in their donations. So we need to support Possumwood Acres wherever we can. On Thursday, the Jacksonville Onslow Economic Development Partnership has a grand opening of our new office at the train depot right downtown on Court Street at 10 o'clock. You're invited to show up there. We appreciate the county employees and want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Buchanan?
Kind of gets to the end, ain't much left to say, is there? I concur with everything, especially what Knapp was saying a while ago and our manager. But one of the things I really want to say is that my wife and I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And thank you for all you do for us. Thank you.
Vice Chairman?
Thank you. Gentlemen, thank you for your support today and your confidence in us. I appreciate that. I want to reiterate what Commissioner Price said about Carrie and the adoption Christmas there on Friday night. That was tremendous work on Carrie and her staff, and also all the community that took part in it. There was a lot of very happy young kids and some older kids as well that really appreciate it. And to me, that is a culmination of what this community is able to do to support the kids and the departments here in Onslow County. And then just a big thank you to the Onslow County employees. Commissioner Knapp said it very well. The work that you put in, we cannot quantify that. It's just tremendous, and it's been doubled down for you for the last couple of years. Also to Chris White and the work that's been done for the last several years, making sure we're in a position to get the runway extended out at Albert J, and that's going to have a tremendous impact as we move ahead with that. And I just want to say Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. And the commissioners will be, most of us will be at the Wreaths Across America ceremony on the 18th. Unfortunately, I am out of town that weekend, but my heart is definitely there in what the veterans have done for not only the United States, but in particular right here at home in Onslow County, where we're the home of the largest amphibious Marine Corps base. So we are very, very appreciative of that, and that's just a recognition of what they do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Foster. I want to reflect on Bob Dole that passed away and his family. I think Commissioner Price brought that up, but Bob was an asset to the American people. He was a war hero. He was wounded, had his shoulder shattered. He died at the age of 98 in his sleep. But I read a little bit about him when I seen the news, and I found out that he was actually in the hospital after his injury during the war. For 3 years, 3 solid years, he was in the hospital, and they had given up on him several times. They didn't think he was going to make it, but he sprang back, and he come back without the use of his right arm. But he was a real patriot, and I want to send my condolences to him and his family during this time of need. I'd also like to think that we need to say prayers for the fireman that was injured Saturday, that got injured really bad in the fire truck accident on Stella Road. Indications, preliminary investigations indicate there was some malfunction in the vehicle and caused the vehicle to plunge in a ravine and do a lot of damage, and really had a serious injury on the passenger in the truck. I think the truck is a total loss from looking at the damage, but I'm not a body fender person. There's another group of people that I want to honor. They didn't win, but they sure gave it a heck of a time. That was the Cardinals last week, for Jacksonville Cardinals. They held the line up until the first half, 21-21, and then it sort of fell apart after that, but they still didn't lose, but by very much. I don't know what the final score was, but maybe Mark can tell us that. But still, they fought a good fight. And Tim, I know your team didn't place in that position, so I know you're not going to maybe cheer them on, but
We were supporting the Cardinals.
I'm proud of our Cardinals, and I'm proud of the team. I want to thank the board again for supporting me to be the chairman. It is a lot of extra work, but people that don't know the chairman's position, I have no more authority than any other board members. I do the same thing that you guys do, but the only thing I do different is preside over the meeting and look at the agenda and give guidance to staff about the agenda and as it comes about. And I try to make sure that you guys get your agenda package, and if you ever have any questions, Paul and I have a lot of history about county government, and if we can fill you in on county history so you won't have to do unnecessary research, we'll be glad to do that. But anyway, as we join with family and friends, please remember that this is a time we gather to celebrate the birth of Jesus and the spirit of Christmas. I wish all of our citizens, from my family to yours, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And now I entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. We got a unanimous vote to adjourn. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.